Some boy did it dirty.
Yo, what up, man? Shit, Marvelous Live, another episode, and you know what time it is. It's the NBA off season. The draft has officially started. A bunch of bullshit trades have already happened. And yeah, we gonna go ahead and get into it, man. So just wanna say thank you to anybody who likes, comments, subscribes, watches, all y'all. Appreciate any love that I get. Hella grateful. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gotta start somewhere, and I'm cool with that. So let's get into it. Everybody knew Victor Wembanyama was going to be the number one overall pick to the Spurs. He went to perfect spot. History says Spurs Big Ben. If you want to go back in the day, Artis Gilmore, and then you got David Robinson went number one. Then Tim Duncan went number one. Now you got Victor Wembanyama going number one. 7'5" demigod. I cannot wait to see him on 2K. That's gonna be nuts. Ain't nobody using Spurs in like 4 or 5 years, so yeah, I can't wait to see how they're gonna make him on 2K. That's gonna be incredible. But he went to the perfect spot. He went to the perfect spot. The Spurs legends are gonna make sure that they mentor him. So he gonna turn. So hopefully he turns out to be something great. I'm not in the whole best prospect ever. I'm not into that. I'm not really into that. I'm not of the belief that if he's AD or if he's Hakeem, folks will think he's a disappointment. Like, do you know how hard it is to be a top 10 player of all time? That's hard. I'm not going to give this dude the LeBron expectations that folks want to give him. I ain't doing that bullshit. Hell no. So, but let's get into more of the draft because Wemby, we kind of already knew it was going to happen. Number two, the Charlotte Hornets took Brandon Miller, the small forward out of Alabama, and it was pretty much between him and Scoot. Like we knew those were the top three. Didn't know who was going to go two, who was going to go three. So Brandon Miller, 6'9" forward, pretty, he the one who just said Paul George was the GOAT, but he kind of resembles Paul George. Nice two-way player, nice jump shot, can get to the basket, create, real smooth game. But I've been sold on Scoot. I've been sold on Scoot from day one. And folks is mad because of the comments that Scoot Henderson made about about this draft. He told people he not satisfied being number two, that he believes he's the best player in the draft. And a lot of people in the comments are like, you need to be humble. You need to be grateful that you're in the NBA. Man, fuck all that, bro. I would want my guy to not be happy, to not be content with being second. Don't be content. He wants to be the best player in the league. And I'm sure Wemby does too. And I'm sure Brandon Miller does too. But Scoot want to be the best player in the league, and I have no problem with that type of bravado and that type of belief in yourself. I want that type of guy on my team. But alas, he's going to the Blazers. So that's an interesting backcourt. And I don't know what the Blazers plan to do with Dame, but let's just say they keep him. Dame, Scoots, Anthony Simmons, Shaden Sharp, man, woo-wee. That's on firepower, bruh. Now they ain't gonna be able to stop nobody, but shit, that's at least 120 every night. You gonna be in for your money trying to keep up with them. Scoot is just a dog, man. If you got the bounce of like Russell Westbrook. You have like the craftiness of somebody like Chris Paul, and you just have that dog that Ja Morant has. You know what I'm saying? So he's just, whew, Lord, that man's tough. You know what I'm saying? Scoot is a game changer. But the question is, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do with Dame? And I've been said they should trade Dame because Dame is 33, and the longer you wait, the less you're gonna get. And we've seen now that guys who get traded a little too late, you get pennies on the dollar for them. Now, I know that you can be a fourth round. You can not a fourth round. You can be a second round pick and turn out to be a great player. But You know, the value for the most part is in the first round. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? You're rarely gonna find a Nikola Jokic. You feel me? So yeah, if they need to trade Dame this off season, you know what I'm saying? Whoever gives the best deal, that's what they should do. They should just go ahead and give the keys to Scoop and Simmons and go for it. And just go for the future because those two are going to be exciting. I don't know who the hell else is going to be on Portland's roster, but those two and Sharp, that's that's going to be some must see TV for sure. All right, so let's get into these trades. So the first one, we already know the Bradley Beal trade. You know, that was the first trade that kind of lit this shit on fire. And these motherfuckers, the Suns got Bradley Beal. They got Bradley Beal, Isaiah Todd, and Jordan Goodwin, who are just two, young developmental pieces. You know, they could be some, they could not be, but you still got them. And you got Chris Paul, who's like 37, 38, 39. Bradley, you got Chris Paul, and you got Landry Shamet and a bunch of second round picks and first round swaps. The Wizards are probably not going to use those swaps 9 times out of 10 because they're going to be bad for a little bit. And the Suns probably are going to be, in the deep playoff run. So, you know, could those players turn into something? You never know. Jokic was 41st, but the odds of that pretty low. But it's just crazy how look at what Rudy Gobert went for in the draft, and this is what Bradley Beal goes for in the draft. Fucking nutty. Rudy Gobert gets 5 first round picks and players. Bradley Beal gets a bunch of second round picks. Now I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying? Come on, yo, like that is wild. Now, now this leaves a nice big three of Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. You know, I mean, hey, it's gonna be tough on 2K for real. So, that's gonna be you gotta look out for that. But Aiden is always the key. You know what I'm saying? Aiden has all the physical tools. That's the motherfucker who should benefit, who should dominate. But he just has, an off switch. He has like an off halfway on switch. You know what I'm saying? If Aiden just played hard, Aiden could get you 20 and 10 by just playing hard because he's physically gifted. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be the key to that Suns team. Kevin Durant, Booker, and Bill, they're gonna get their numbers. They're gonna be fine. If they can stay healthy, Aiden is the key. I'm telling you. Because in the playoffs, Aiden couldn't do shit with Jokic. He couldn't match Jokic at all. Because KD and Booker were doing their thing, even with Chris Paul out. So you add Bradley Bill. Bradley Bill's gonna get you 20 to 25. He's gonna get you 5 rebounds, 5 assists, somewhere around here. That's what you're gonna get from Bill. Aiden, you gotta get at least 16 and 11. If you can consistently get 16 and 11, like I think you should be fine. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I think the Suns need to do when it comes to DeAndre Ayton. That's what he needs to do. They'll fill out the rest of the roster. I'm not worried about that. You know, they'll draft some guys. They'll draft a few guys. They drafted a few guys. They'll sign some guys and they'll sign some vet minimums. Might pick up a couple contracts on the G League. They'll fill out that roster. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. You know, so yeah, they'll be all right. They'll be all right. All right. So these motherfuckers. So this next trade, I don't know how the hell this shit happened. So the Wizards then traded fucking Porzingis to the Celtics. Now, being an East Coast team, why would you help the Celtics? Come on, man. You couldn't find nothing else. You couldn't find no other takers for Porzingis. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But the trade was Porzingis going to the Celtics and Marcus Smart going to the Grizzlies, and the Wizards getting Tyus Jones, Danilo Gallinari, Mike Muscala, and a second round pick of this in this draft. Mm, man, like I know Porzingis not a superstar, but damn, That's what you get for Porzingis. Porzingis was still getting you like damn near 20 and 10. A dude who's over 7 feet tall, who can block shots, rebound, and shoot three, and put the ball on the floor. Like, come on, bro. That's a baller. Like, damn. And you gave him to Boston? And then on top of that, Boston got 2 first-round picks because they got Marcus Smart to Memphis. They got two of the Grizzlies' first-round picks, bro. Excuse me. Like, 2 first-round picks for Marcus Smart, bro. Bradley Beal can't get a first-round pick, but Marcus Smart, you know what I'm saying? But Marcus Smart got a first-round pick. Got 2 first-round picks. The fuck out of here. I know the Wizards are trying to, start over. I like Tyus Jones. Tyus Jones will be a good point guard for them. I'm glad that he'll have the opportunity to start. And whether these are meaningful, whether these turn into any type of wins or not, you know, always a positive. To finally go from like a second string to a full time starting position because when he has had the opportunity to start, he has put up some good numbers. Living in Memphis, I don't watch Tyus Jones. He's like the ultimate smart guy. But Porzingis going to the Celtics, man. You just gave the Celtics even more firepower. You know what I'm saying? Porzingis ain't the best, but like you're giving them just another huge piece. Now for the Celtics, if they don't win a championship soon, it's gonna look bad, man. You know. But I hope they don't win a championship. I'm a Lakers fan, so fuck the Celtics. And then you got rid of Marcus Smart. Not saying Marcus Smart's a star, but damn, that was the heart and soul of your team, and you just got rid of him for 2 first-round picks, bruh. Like, oh my god. Forget loyalty. I be telling y'all all the time, forget that loyalty bullshit. Marcus Smart wanted to stay in Boston until he retired. And look what they did. Got rid of him. Shit sad, bro. Shit sad, man. But Memphis is a good place for Marcus Smart. He's like one of the definitions of grit and grind, so he will fit right in and he'll take over the reins. No more Tyus Jones. John Morant suspended 25 games. So him and Desmond Bain, hey, it's y'all show for the first 25 games. See how they do it. And I think they'll do fine. I definitely think they will do fine. They'll be okay. You know, Marcus Smart is gonna be that vet. So when Ja comes back, Marcus Smart is gonna be that vet that's needed in that Grizzlies locker room. You feel me? So definitely. I don't know why you had to get rid of 2 first rounders, but you know, I think it definitely helps the Grizzlies in the next few years for sure. So first things first, the Wizards used that 35 pick to get Julian Phillips out of Tennessee. You know, I think there were better options, but Julian Phillips is pretty much just going to be a lockdown defender. That's pretty much going to be his goal, just an irritating pressure defender, which, is definitely valuable, but I think they could have got a little bit better pieces during that time. But, it's all good. So that pretty much completes that Porzingis trade. But now, the trade, the wildest shit I done seen this offseason, bruh. You mean to tell me that of all teams to trade for Chris Paul, the fucking Warriors, and the Warriors, this just lets me know the Warriors don't want to develop anymore. They don't. Because you mean to tell me Chris Paul, like you have Steph Curry, of course. Chris Paul still has value, but you mean to tell me Chris Paul's package as a trade package is better than Bradley Beal's? Not saying that Bradley Beal's way better than Chris Paul, but Chris Paul is almost 40. Beal is what 30, 31? So Beal still has a few prime years left. At least, but goddamn, the Warriors traded Jordan Poole, they traded Ryan Rollins, they traded Patrick Baldwin Jr., and they traded draft picks to get Chris Paul. What the fuck? Bro, they talk about they trying to clear out money, whatever. They must have some. You know what? The Warriors done won championships. This is Mike Dunleavy's first act after his stupid ass said that Jordan Poole's gonna be there for the next 4 years. A few days later, you trade him for fucking Chris Paul? Are you fucking kidding me? God damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, man. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how that's gonna work. I mean, Chris Paul can still play, but that's just weird. That's a weird fit, and it's especially weird because Steph been beating on Chris Paul the last decade, damn near. But I just don't know how that's gonna work. But forget all that. Kudos to the Wizards, bruh. Let's give the Wizards a round of applause, bruh, because that's a fleece. You mean to tell me you get rid of Bradley Beal and you end up Jordan Poole, let's just forget it. Forget that he had a whack ass playoffs. We all know he had a whack ass playoffs. He was awful. But Jordan Poole, the year before, was a key contributor to the Celtics, not the Celtics, to the Warriors winning the championship. They faced the Celtics, but yeah, he was a huge contributor. And when Steph was out, Jordan Poole was balling, averaging 26 a game with Steph Curry out. So Jordan Poole is going to go to the Wizards and get buckets. There's no question about that. Jordan Poole is going to average between 23 and 28 next year. Yes, unless he gets hurt, that's what he's going to average. He's going to get buckets next year. So you got him. You got Ryan Rollins. Now nobody really knows Ryan Rollins, but Ryan Rollins is a bucket getter himself. He's not going to take Jordan Poole's spot, of course, but Ryan Rollins, that's a nice bucket getter off the bench. And then you got Patrick Baldwin Jr., who is way more talented than people realize. You know what I'm saying? He's way better than people think. Nobody really knows him because he went to Milwaukee. He went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to play with his pops in college when he should have went to like Duke or Kansas or something like that. But he got a burner. Like he reminds me of Michael Porter Jr. So the Wizards and they got draft picks. I don't know who running the Wizards, but you need to go play the lottery. Fuck it. It's your lucky day, my nigga. Go ahead, do that. I don't know what the hell the Warriors is gonna do. It's still a long off season, so there's plenty more to happen. But damn, this is just so head scratching for them. What are they after? I guess they want more money to pay Draymond and Steph. Maybe that's the only thing I can think of because I don't know who you would want to sign. If you got Chris Paul now, I don't know who you want to sign. You know what I'm saying, free agent wise. So, eh. Hey man, we'll see, bro. We'll see. I have no idea. I have no idea what they're doing. So, fuck it. Hey, if you win 4 championships, hey, I gotta just trust that you know what you're doing. So fuck it. See what they do. But now we're gonna get into the Lakers because I'm a Laker fan, so I gotta make sure I talk about my Lakers. So my Lakers had 2 picks in the draft. They moved up on one of them, and they ended up taking with number 17, Jalen Hood Shafino, 6'5", about 215, 220. Nice little combo guard out of Indiana. Dude can hoop. Dude can play. You know what I'm saying? I like that. He's just a big, strong. He's like a strong built dude. He already has an NBA body, in my opinion. He's a decent decision maker. He has a great dribble pull up. He's great off the dribble. Now, if he can become a way better catch and shoot player, that'll be way better for the Lakers. But I mean, hey, Lakers ain't really been too grand at hitting the draft, so hoping for better things. Dude seems like he's a good kid, and also apparently his mom gave him the nickname Pheno, and Pheno means failure is never an option. I like that. I really fuck with that. Somebody who has those type of expectations on him coming up. I feel like he's got a good head on his shoulders, and he gonna be all right. Big physical point guard, nice looking jump shot. He becomes a good catch and shoot player. Look out. Not super explosive, but explosive enough. Like you don't gotta be fucking John Morant to be a good athlete. Feel me? So next we got big homie Maxwell Lewis, about 6'7" wing out of Pepperdine. Now, for those who don't know where Pepperdine is, it's in fucking California. So he go to a nice ass school, but he can play though. He ain't really gonna play no defense, but he is a shot creating bucket getter. That's what he do. He can shoot three, he can shoot the mid range, he can create, finish at the rim, he'll cut. Defense is lacking, but fuck it, that's something that can be worked on. But hey, it's hard to work on somebody. It's hard to work on somebody who's 6'7", 7 foot wingspan, shot creator. Them things you can't teach. So yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I'm not really. I don't really have. I can't really have too high expectations, but hey, let's just hope we knock it out the park. Because last time we had two first round picks, what we do? Got Lonzo Ball, ended up getting Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart, but yeah, so hopefully if we could turn this into something like that, I'd be definitely satisfied. But look out for my boys. Look out for my Lakers, man. We're gonna do some things. Well, the goal is to try to win a championship. So hopefully if they can come in and contribute even minimally, that'll be a big help for us. Feel me? So let's go. So when it comes to the draft, I'll do like full on draft grades another day. But the one person I did want to make sure I addressed was, in my opinion, the wild card of the draft, which was, Imani Bates. Imani Bates had the same hype that Wimby had now when he was like 15, 16. Folks was talking about trying to draft Imani Bates at 16 years old. I remember those conversations. Like he had as much hype as Wimby, LeBron, Zion. He had that type of hype. But a lot of stuff got in his way. Known to have a team that's a little bit overbearing. He's viewed as a selfish player. He's a me type of player. That's the perception of him. He went to Memphis, didn't really do too well, then transferred to Eastern Michigan, and he was a shot chucker, and they was ass. But you still have that glimmer of like what he was viewed as. So I figured he would be a second round draft pick, you know, and he went to the Cavaliers. He went to Cleveland at 49, and I think that's a good spot for him. Cleveland really doesn't have anybody to solidify the number three spot, so he could actually, like, he could legit go in there and win that starting spot. He could. He was their only draft pick, and 6'9", 6'10", long arms. His jump shot is beautiful. Like that thing is pure as hell. Now the question is he gonna adapt to the team? Because I don't I don't think he realized that the NBA don't need him. The NBA has been here over 75 years and they're gonna be fine. So with the Imani base or without Imani base. So he gotta come in with the right attitude. And I do think Cleveland got to steal in that dude because he can play. He can score the basketball. He can shoot. He ain't really proven himself as a defender or a facilitator, but he doesn't really need to be more than just a scorer right now. You know, so he come in with his head on straight and he embraces being a teammate. Then Cleveland got a steal. Cleveland got a steal in the draft. You know, Imani Bates is a top 10 talent. There's no question in my mind. If his head was on straight, he would have been top 10, maybe picked in the top five. That's how much talent I believe he has. But all this other shit, all this other bullshit, the gun charges and all that other bullshit, got in the way. So we gonna see what he gonna do, because if because this is one of the biggest falls from grace I've ever seen in terms of somebody who had all this type of hype in high school. So wishing good luck to the brother. Nothing, no ill will on him, But hey, this. I ain't gonna lie. This is a boomer bust. I think he's either gonna turn into a star or he's gonna end up in China. I don't think there's an in between. I don't see this guy being a role player for 10, 15 years in the NBA. I don't see it. I see him being an all-star caliber player for the next decade or so, or in China somewhere so he can shoot as much as he wants. One of the two. But still wishing good luck to the young brother. Hope he does something with it. Yeah, so another good thing about the summertime is we got Ice Cube's Big 3 coming up, man. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Ice Cube Big 3 coming up. You know, I've always been a fan of the Big 3, and I always want to see black men win. I want to see a black man win. The first black owned sports league in the world, in America at least. But, you know, this season number 6, you know, I've been a fan since day one. You know, last year Team Trilogy. They won back to back championships. They've won 3 championships overall. And their team, you know, Isaiah Briscoe, Earl Clark, you know, James Flight White, David Hawkins. Shit, they did it again, man. So we gonna see. And Steven Jackson is the coach, so we'll see if somebody's gonna dethrone them. If I gotta pick a winner, you know, I'm gonna go back to the triplets because they just have Joe Johnson's arguably the best player. So their team is Joe Johnson, Gennaro Pargo, Jeremy Pargo, Larry Sanders, and Damian Wilkins, Dominique Wilkins' nephew. So I think they the ones that got enough to overtake him. But you know, if we're talking about the other notable players, Rashard Lewis, Katino Mobley, Royce Wright, Reggie Evans, Michael Beasley, Gerald Green, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of those guys coming back ready for it. I'm gonna be in the game. They're coming to Memphis on July the 15th, so I'm gonna make sure I show up. I'll make sure I'm near the front because I want to be around all the action. You know, a lot of people don't really talk about the Big 3. I wish more notable names would join because it would just make it that much more appealing. But, you know, a lot of guys don't want to get embarrassed by guys you never heard of. Guys, people haven't heard of Chuck Garcia. People haven't heard of Shannon Shorter. You know what I'm saying? So people haven't heard of guys like that. So, you know, you don't want to get your ass bust by motherfuckers you ain't never heard of. So I understand. But, you know, hey, but you know, that's all we doing today. So, you know, I appreciate all y'all staying in, tuning in with me. You know, we'll get more into the draft and we'll see what other crazy offseason shit happens in the NBA because you know it's still that time. And, you know, let's go ahead and get it popping. Thank you, thank you, thank you for anybody who supported me. So, you know, and this is a peace. Peace out. Sayonara for all that shit. All right, y'all be easy, man.